Welcome to my Atari ST nostalgia trip. After all these videos where I worried about historical significance or the game being considered an all-time classic, today I just feel like shooting stuff that looks good. And what better game to do this than with SWIV or SWIV, which according to some stands for Silkworm in Vertical. Now, this game was released in 1991. It was made by the Sales Curve, who also did the port of the arcade game Silkworm. So will it also be good in other departments like sound effects and gameplay? I guess we just have to start it up and find out and then see if I will indeed enjoy myself like I hope I will be doing. And as you can see, as always, I am running the hard drive enabled version of the game whenever I can because they have these really beautiful copies of the box art, which on an ST, I think even on a CRT monitor this will look even better than in an emulator. I really like it, and of course after pressing the key it will load the rest of the game. And I think this game is actually loading lots of stuff into memory, so the loading time is actually quite long, even when loading from a hard drive. But I guess it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And we are at the title screen of the game, which looks really nice. And just to show you how good the graphics in this game are, this title screen is actually the least good looking graphics in the game. That's how good the game looks. So that promises a lot. And of course then we get some more information about who was programming the game, who published it, who did the music. Andrew Barnabas, whom I don't really know. And we get some nice information about a helicopter, so that the intro of the game is actually pretty nicely made. And of course I can use the help button to get into the options screen to choose my controls. And on the ST port of Silkworm, it actually allowed you to control both the chopper and the Jeep with the same joystick. Here that doesn't work, because if I choose the joystick for my Jeep, it will immediately randomly choose something else for my helicopter. So I guess in Silkworm that was more of an unintended feature, so the option is not available in this game. So it's helicopter only today, I'm afraid. And I will say in advance, I am using an unlimited lives cheat, because the game is actually very difficult, and I haven't played it since like 1992 or something. But here we are in a game, and my helicopter is here, and as you can hear, the game is very silent unless I fire a gun or make something explode. And even then the sound is actually a little bit disappointing, so yeah, we start with the complaints. But before we start complaining too much, I will say, just look how the game looks. The game looks absolutely fantastic for its time, I really have to admit it. So yeah, the NEST and Amiga versions also have a very similar look to them. And as I'm warned with a big siren about this enemy coming from the ground, so it's very nice of them to warn that, look, I'm about to shoot you, you better get out of the way. And as you can see, there's immediately a lot of enemies in the screen. So I have a feeling this game was really made for two-player cooperation. So I could take part of the screen, part of the enemies with my helicopter, and actually leave something for my fellow player who is controlling the Jeep. But the gameplay itself, yeah, it feels I would say it feels okay. Even if sometimes the screen gets a little bit jerky, and I guess that jerkiness, it comes from the way they handled they decided how they would cope with the limitations of the ST. Yeah, and this is a really big enemy. This is the power-up system, and I was lucky I actually had a shield. And I do like the power-up system that it, once you kill the big enemy you get two power-ups, and by firing at it you can not only shift them to the back of the screen, so you can actually delay picking them up, but it also allows you to choose what kind of power-ups you want, and I didn't know exactly what I chose, to be honest. But I think I chose more firing speed or something. I wasn't really paying attention. I actually got lucky that I got a shield before I got to fight the power-up or the goose chopper to get my power-ups, because yes, as original as this power-up scheme is, it's also a really cool one. Because really you see suddenly this really, after a set of kills you get this really big enemy, this combined enemy, and the only thing you can think of is, oh, I wish I had a more powerful gun, and the game just goes like, well, I can give you a more powerful gun, all you have to do is kill this really big enemy. And oh, I'm so glad I'm having a shield here, and the shield just wore off. So yeah, with these many enemies, a shield in this game is actually really important, as you can see. But I like how the game looks, and the scrolling is fairly smooth, I would say. And of course the scrolling is full screen, so there's not like a huge sidebar or like a really small play screen for them to go with the limitation. So I'm glad I didn't choose that option. The gameplay field is actually quite big. And here I have to be really careful because those tanks are shooting right at me, I was going to say. And of course, right when I was going to say it, I got hit by one of the tank's rockets. But man, those shields are so valuable. Especially with the enemies that you have to use multiple shots to kill them. And do I have a complaint about the graphics? If anything, I would say that sometimes the enemies sort of blend a little bit with the background because of all the shades of grey they chose. But that's really me nitpicking. I guess my biggest complaint about the game would be that, yeah, the game is just very lacking in sound effects. And there's also no in-game music, so it's a bit difficult to get engaged in the action, although I am actually having fun. Because as I said in the beginning of this video, I'm just here I want to enjoy shooting stuff, and I want it to look good, and well, I am shooting stuff and it really looks good, it really looks fantastic. And oh, I should have actually delayed picking up that godlike mode thingy, and I still have a shield. Because again, oh no, and my shield wore off. This is one of those goose choppers, and of course while I'm spawning I should also sort of... No. Well, I'm just going to use my unlimited life and I'm going to choose this, and I don't know what it is. I guess it's fire speed? This is fire speed, so I'm now... I don't have a particularly more powerful weapon, but it's firing a lot faster, which means my enemies get killed a lot faster. So this game will require lots of... Oh, look at the size of those jets. Oh. And of course, after I die, I think I lose my upgrades. Yeah, I do. And I have lots of big stuff. Lots of big stuff moving, and these are really annoying because they take a lot of shots to kill, and once you kill them, this happens. And it's really, if the screen is full of enemies and you're trying to survive, I think this is the last thing you want to deal with. All these... Oh, hit detection also seems to bit. So yeah, you should really choose your fights, I guess. And this is level 1 of the game. I mean, this many difficult enemies in level 1, this is a truly fiendishly difficult game. So it's going to take some practice if you want to take it on in a serious way, not like I'm doing. And I think I will just go, yeah, I will play up until the end of level mini, or what do you call it, the boss fight. Which is also actually, for a first level, I would say the difficulty level is really, really high. Oh, and we have another. So I killed enough enemies, then this goose chopper thingy comes. Oh. So I'm sort of misusing my... I was good. No, don't take away my... Oh well. Wow, look at those cannonballs, man. So you really have to be fast in killing these. But with these really big things, the really big enemies in my screen, and then the more fast-moving choppers, we can also see the solution they took for dealing with the limitations of the ST. Because if you have lots of stuff going on the screen, yeah, the ST can't cope. It can't animate everything as fast as you would like. So you have two options to do. One is just accept the slowdown and accept that the game will suddenly run 30, 40, 50% slower or even more, which is the option they chose for games like Space Harrier. This game chose the other option, which is to basically maintain the game's speed by just skipping animations of frames of animation. which is nice for the feel that, yeah, the speed remains the same. But when objects are moving fast, like some of these helicopters, the movement gets really jerky and it's really difficult to know where they are and to actually fire your gun in the right timing. I mean, you have to choose one. And to be honest, I think I actually prefer slowdowns, because at least you can see what's going on. I mean, I would prefer to be no slowdowns at all, but you just, we shouldn't have bought an ST. It's just one of the limitations you have to cope with. But I think I prefer slowdowns over frame skip, because frame skip makes everything so jerky. Yeah, and again, if I don't do anything, the game is so silent. And this is the end level boss, which is a really difficult one. If you have a forward firing weapon only, this level is almost impossible. And, oh, that missile just hit me. So lucky I'm keeping my because otherwise you have to time your weapon, fire straight at him. Those lasers are super powerful, of course. And I'm still dying a lot because, yeah, I'm talking and... But you need so many shots to kill that really big gun, and those other two things are firing at you. But you are rewarded with a screen full of lots of explosions, and then of course you're sent straight into a minefield. And I'm not even sure if this is level 2 or this is just the halfway boss of level 1. But what I do know is I have been playing for quite a bit already. And as much as I'm enjoying myself, because I just wanted to shoot stuff, and yeah, the gameplay is sort of one-sided, but I do know that in this part of the level, the enemies get a bit bigger, and there's really... look at that, look at how many things are moving in screen. And of course now this... Oh. Oh. I lost the weapon that I wanted, but look, these really big things. And they were smart enough to make the big things not move so fast, so they need less frames of animation to maintain the game speed for those. But as you can see at the same time, the helicopters moving fast through my screen, they are getting really jerky, and it's... I'm not sure if it ruins the game for me, but yeah, and at this point the game gets really difficult. And of course I'm cheating, so it's not like this is a super gameplay video that everybody wants to keep watching for 20 minutes or more. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just summarize the game. And in summary, I will just ask myself the question, how good is this game really? Because with cheats enabled and just having a blast killing stuff, it is of course okay, but in the end, this game was just a vertical scrolling clone of Silkworm, that despite the fantastic looks cannot hide that maybe it was a little bit too ambitious for the limited Atari ST. I mean, many games had the same omissions in music and sound effects during gameplay, but I feel for this one they took it just that bit too far for the game to remain that engaging. And honestly, that really hurts me to say, because I can tell they really put in real effort to make this a worthy early 90s game. And yeah, if you combine those observations with the competition from Talion, who did take this game genre actually that much further on the ST, I'm afraid I can understand why I never really played this game much and instead just booted my copy of Wings of Death. And with that thought, I would like to thank you for watching.